interesting map. I don't know why, but it is interesting.
I can't see it yet. I'm sitting here and waiting for other players.
Yes, that's why I'm saying
All right,
it, but
yeah,
I don't know
good stuff.
why.
I'm sure it will be an interesting map. I agree with you. Well,
Plenty of water, decent and lowish aluminium.
how many geotherms are actually on this map? Because the game keeps changing the number it's telling me each time. Like, the game currently tells me there are 18 geothermal vents on this map. And I think it's a liar.
There's only one.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I only saw one. I'm like, game, there aren't 28 geothermal vents on this map. Calm down.
Yep.
That was an interesting little bug. Okay.
So...
Looking at the game itself, Veivi, was he the first to found? It used to tell us very easily. I think he was.
Yeah, here's the most depth.
Yeah. So Veivi, then Ultrapope, then Soren is what it looks like.
And Blackmagic is still finding the found button.
Yeah. And it looks
found
like,
it.
oh, he's actually going to go for a power robot this game. Well,
It's a bit strange.
it could work out pretty well, having looked
I mean,
at...
the way in which he is founding is 2 solar panels and no adjacent quarry.
Yeah, no adjacent quarry is a bit awkward. I imagine he wanted to try and fit in there, but you've got the edge of the map and then like a crater and hills all around. It just wasn't going to work very well. It is a little odd that he's not even taking something like a water pump or a quarry, though. Just to go along with it. I still think I like the choice of Power Robot, however, because you had already confirmed there was going to be another robot making steel, and then a scientist also making steel. So, whoa.
Wow.
That was aggressive and questionable.
That's... Yes. It's almost night. It's just total waste and... a huge magnet for the black market or black magic market.
Yeah, that was a really, really big commitment. Like $2,000 right at the start of the game. That is a large amount of cash. And he's going to miss out on a lot of that boost. What did he get? Like half of the 60 seconds on the one panel?
Mm-hmm.
So he's gotten a minute of boost so far, effectively. Put together.
Veivi is just steaming ahead with steel, aluminium, and food.
Yeah. That aluminum, once again, very, very far away, and only a medium aluminum tile. Feels a bit awkward.
That's strange that he didn't get the high aluminium.
Wow.
He was the first to... What?
Oh, Soren. Soren getting rude over here. Maybe he's just upset about the pirates that Veivi planted on him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
The black market.
But Soren saying, nice night boost in chat. Just making absolutely sure that Blackmagic knows that everybody saw that. All this said, Blackmagic is up at HQ level 2, which is certainly... It's actually pretty decent to have gotten HQ level 2 before day started again as a power robot. Sometimes that's not even possible. But he's managing to move into farms. He's got some silicon. He's got some water.
Well, and food is already stagnating, so I'm not sure how much profit he's going to get from his food.
Yeah, the food felt like a bit of a concern, considering that Veivi was already in it, especially like he already had 2 farms down. And that just made things a little awkward.
There's 2 robotic players on the map, so there's not a lot of life support being used.
Absolutely. Just not a lot of consumption happening there. It's like it's only Soren actually driving that price up along with the colony right now, obviously. And that's just not a whole lot of consumption to support everybody who might want to make
it's
food.
quite enough. There's like 6 people in the colony. That's 0.9
It is a lot of people.
per second.
Yeah.
It's enough to stagnate the price of food.
Which is going to be beneficial for Blackmagic, who is kind of who I'm tempted to keep most of an eye on this game because of his late power found into the adrenaline boost. Like, how is that going to work out?
That would be mean.
Man, really interesting seats. Aluminum is already up to $62 a piece. Like, both of our robotic players, it seems, don't want to be bothered to take a resource they don't use heavily.
Mm-hmm.
And Veivi and Soren both found it in positions where aluminum was not easily accessible. So things are just really awkward for them.
So,
Yeah, I give up on aluminium a lot when I am robotic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an understandable decision out of the robots. They don't use all that much aluminum. Why do they care if it gets a bit little expensive? But that could hurt. That could hurt Soren in particular these days, who keeps getting his aluminum pirated away by Veivi. Like, that is potentially going to be a really big factor in accelerating Veivi through this game. That power surge from Ultrapope onto Veivi's steel. Always awkward to power surge a scientist. Just always. There's no getting around it. They just shrug it off so easily. It never feels good.
No.
Now, one interesting thing to note is everybody's mostly avoiding building power this game. Like, Soren has a geotherm, which is all well and good, and should be covering his power costs quite easily, given that he's a scavenger. Even with
Blackmagic is really in a dominating power position.
Exactly. Oh man, and he's got a boost going. Well, we'll have to see. That is starting to knock the power price down, but it's potentially a lot of money he's going to get out of that.
Well, I think like 30k or 40, 50.
Yeah. But it is all straight profit right now. He's putting himself into a pretty decent position. Oh, and somebody got greedy trying to go for a mutiny. Soren over there.
Yeah. It's almost always somebody gun squads, whatever their tile is that they're using their adrenaline boost on.
Exactly. If you want to mutiny something, like, yeah, you can go for it. Maybe they don't have it defended, but it's a far more consistent play, it would seem, to take a secondary tile and mutiny that, rather than the primary boost tile.
You can at least take a peek with Spy.
Yeah, absolutely. With spies available in this game. It's basically inexcusable to have used that mutiny there. But, Soren will do what Soren will do, I suppose. Worth noting that Veivi has chosen HQ level 3 to build his patent lab. And he was working away, I believe, on carbon scrubbing for a while there, and then switched to teleportation, I think is what I saw.
Well, both Ultrapope and Soren are in danger of being bought by Veivi.
Yeah, Veivi's sitting on an awful lot of cash right now. Absolutely. Now,
especially if other people decide to join on the ganging up on whoever, on Soren or Ultrapope.
Another big thing to note, though, is that everybody else put together could easily threaten Veivi and knock him out of this game very quickly at this point, because he is sitting back on HQ level 3, and he has this patent lab he's trying to make work, and his debt is just so high. And it keeps getting higher. He's already in C rating. There we go.
Yeah, if they start buying into him right now,
he could just get dead. Yeah, absolutely. Like Veivi, that upgrade was a really big risk without paying down or buying up his stock first. But nobody else, it seems, is comfortable getting aggressive right now. Everybody's playing very cautiously.
Well, and nobody else has a lot of cash as well, so...
Yeah. Blackmagic was the one with the biggest amount, but...
Veivi might have just looked at everybody's wealth and decided that nobody could do anything about it.
Yeah. Nobody individually could have taken him out, so it wasn't a really huge risk. It was just if everybody else had coordinated together in that exact moment before the upgrades and planting extra buildings and such, that it could have gone against Veivi. Wow, Blackmagic, how much are you pulling in per second in power? 4,000. That is going to be dwindling rapidly with 6 solar panels up, 3 of them boosted, but...
Yeah, that's... wow.
But that is a lot of money in your pocket right off the bat. Like, oh man, that is pretty silly.
Just go ahead and kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, he could just go ahead and kill some. Like, Veivi should actually be super easy to pick off at this point. What's better is that knocks the patent guy out of the game, who's already taken financial instruments and teleportation.
Well, you have to always be worried about the scientific with the patents.
Absolutely. You can just tear through those so quickly. I don't mind Blackmagic kind of killing power like this, though, with all of his opponents in such massive debt. Because, yeah, he kind of gives up the ability to make money on power by making this play in this moment to make this push. But it means everybody else is, like, really solidly stuck in debt. Like, they can't just drop down solar panels and be like, ah, power's 200. I'll just pay off my debt now. I like it.
I try to hold on to a profitable market as long as I can with the black market and then crash it when everybody else gets into it.
Yeah. Which you can see, Soren, he's working on those wind turbines, and like Ultrapope, he's got 4 solar panels up, so maybe now is absolutely the time to crash power out.
Yeah, I think that's Blackmagic's plan, even if he doesn't know it.
Man, Blackmagic's sitting on $100,000 right now, and he's actually decided he is going to get aggressive. He may have picked out who Soren is this game, even. Although, yeah, we do have Masquerade on, but Blackmagic targeting down Soren. He has the cash to keep pushing. He hasn't done it yet. There we go. No, whoa, that's interesting.
It's really strange.
He committed into Veivi as well. That is
weird.
interesting. Because he had the money. He still has the money, theoretically, does he? He's got resources sitting around in the patent office. If he canceled out of those, he doesn't even need to. Well.
Wow. No, that's that.
He got it done. I mean, Soren's gone. Soren's out. So we are going to a game 3 regardless of the results of this one, which I'm certainly happy about.
Yeah, me too. I would like 3 more games or something.
Absolutely. We can go to full 5. Why not? Who cares? But that is that power play, just all right there. And I love this. He immediately transitioned into the obvious resource of chems, with everybody putting up a patent office this game, it felt like. Chem's become a very nice decision, and he's being so aggressive with these adrenaline boosts. I love it. Oh man, and he's staying aggressive in the stock market too. Like, he just says, all right, Veivi's cheap. He's almost in that D level of debt. I can keep buying him. Why not? He's not going to get to the full buy, but taking these 4 could certainly be a solid decision out of Blackmagic.
And he might even sell out of his own stock just to get to the kill faster.
Yeah, I wonder if he is going to push all the way for the killer. If he's going to say, all right, I've got the cheap stuff. That's good enough. I've put the fear into Veivi, basically, to try and make him pay off his debt. And now he's not going to be a problem. And then late game, I still have an advantage. I am curious what Blackmagic's line is going to be from here.
Well, he is stagnating a bit with Blackmagic. Veivi is getting ahead, well-ish.
Well, resources have suddenly turned
horrible.
Pretty awkward to try and use. Like, aluminum is honestly, like, aluminum mines are probably your single most profitable thing in the game right now. Which is certainly going to make things awkward. And then steel mills are the other obvious choice. So Blackmagic has moved into steel at this point, but with iron still at $30, that's not going to be comfortable. I do like the nanotech decision. It's worth noting that during all of this, Blackmagic has pushed to Thinking Machines, Nanotech, Perpetual Motion, and Superconductor.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That is a lot of patents, whereas Veivi has carbon scrubbing, teleportation, and financial instruments. And after that, he actually scrapped his patent office and has chosen to move into an off-world market right now.
And Ultrapope is finally deciding to move into a pleasure dome.
That off-world market, I think if I were Blackmagic, seeing that off-world market would have guaranteed my next line of play. Like, Veivi being so greedy as to go for an off-world market immediately, in full view of everybody else.
And there's no way to hide it.
Yeah, you can't hide it. There's even, like, Blackmagic has a spy on it, so he knows when it's defended or not, so he knows the best way to attack it. Like, I would just tear into that thing mercilessly, quite frankly.
There are only 2 options to attack it with.
There are, but the other option is to just take it away. Like, Blackmagic has the option to just sell out of his stock and go after Veivi if he really wanted to. And Ultrapope isn't in a great position to kill him in response to it. He might be able to do something, but... Ooh.
Not a lot. No, not enough.
Actually, my biggest concern about this game is Blackmagic, he got the kill onto Soren, but then he kept buying Soren's stock. And I think that was a serious mistake. We saw last game, Soren, he got the kill, he got the majority buy onto Ultrapope, and then he stopped. He was like, I'm not going to commit any more money to this whatsoever. Whereas Blackmagic, he didn't make that same decision, and I'm concerned it's going to come back to bite him by him not having enough cash to push through this weird period of stagnation that he's run into.
He's not making anything right now.
Absolutely, he's not making anything right now, and it's such a huge concern. His best income is by far the electronics factories at 100 apiece. And while having nanotech can certainly help you make the transitions, he's still not even HQ level 5 yet. And so without being able to do something like knock Veivi out, it's going to leave things awkward.
And VAI decided to build a pleasure dome right next to his HQ.
Yeah, the
And he's
AI
losing
loves to
money.
do that. I've gotten after Soren about that already. And I'm never going to stop. Soren, you're knocked out of this game. Look at this. What is this garbage? That's all I'm going to say about it. It's literally losing money. Like, ugh. Anyway.
You really don't like pleasure domes, so...
No,
very
well,
bad
maybe if they
market
weren't
is
such a
on the
garbage
line.
building in the first place, I wouldn't have developed like this ingrained hatred of it. It's better now. I'll admit that. It's more interesting now. But oh man, that game was that unit, that building was so stupid for so long. Mutiny once again onto Veivi's off-world market. Blackmagic is committed to taking this over rather than trying to knock it down or knock it out with EMPs and such. Which is interesting to see how that's going to work out long term. Magnetic storm. All right then. Well,
Oh, and
nobody wants
Veivi lost his Offworld to mutinies.
Blackmagic's got that blocked up right now. That virtual reality. So here's what I love about this. Here's what I absolutely love about this. Blackmagic has picked up virtual reality, so his pleasure dome is strong and would be stronger the less pleasure domes there were in the game. But his subsidiary, oh, it actually turned it off. It's
Oh,
just
that's
sitting
good.
there as an off pleasure dome now. All right then. That's good. That's good for Blackmagic. But man, you can really tell that
The black market is on
robots
the line.
do not contribute a lot. Like, there's no expansives here. And the game was recently patched to make it so that expansives now contribute more to the pleasure dome than any other colony.
Oh,
I've
and look
been
at the
through
power price.
them correctly.
Blackmagic is making a move on the power here.
Yeah, I like that. He's got superconductors, so he's just trying to crank out these energy shortages. Maybe trying to drive people into enough debt that he can feel
I'm a bit
comfortable going
worried
for a buy.
that the solar panels are all next to each other.
They are all next to each other. They are very, very vulnerable to an EMP, which is very cheap right now. Would be pretty easy. I love this. During the shortage, the price is going down. That's how much power is being flooded into the market right now.
Yeah, I think a shortage does like 10 units a second.
Yeah, well, that's 12 a second, even without these adrenaline boosts being pumped into the market by Blackmagic. He's got enough to kill Ultrapope, who,
Ooh.
by the way, this power play has completely killed him. Yeah, I like it. And Blackmagic, I love this. He's still on HQ level 4.
Yes,
Just like, whatever.
I
I'll
like
just
his
use my
style.
opponent's... Like, he took over Veivi's Offworld. I don't think Veivi ever took it back. So that was a full 2 Offworld launches, effectively, that Blackmagic would have gotten out of that. Veivi says he's got this. I find that unlikely. It is worth noting that Blackmagic only needs 226,000 to clean up this game. He's still pulling in 1,000 a second on power. Aluminum is looking a bit awkward, but with these 2 subsidiaries, I think things are going to go just fine for him.
There's no way Blackmagic is going to lose. He's...
Absolutely. Like, and Veivi's just in such horrendous debt. He can't push to enough cash to actually do anything to Blackmagic whatsoever with a $63 stock price. This has been very cleanly played, despite the slightly awkward and late found that Blackmagic had.
So how exactly did Blackmagic manage to spike the price of power here?
Well, he was adrenaline boosting that hacker array pretty hard. Adrenaline boost just changed the game so much. I'm wondering how many shorts he actually got off, so we're going to go ahead and check shortages and surpluses. Blackmagic 3 power shorts, just
Lots.
back to back to back. That is a pretty giant spike in that price. And Veivi did just give it up, so...
Yeah. Totally fair to give it up in this spot.
Oh, definitely. Like, that game is totally over. I am 100% okay with people just conceding at that point.
Right, so clean power play.
Yeah, and I mean,
Ish.
it's always so awkward when there's no geotherms, and once again, Silicon was kind of odd that game too. So we can see what we were talking about could have worked last map, definitely worked out in a very similar situation, if slightly less extreme. Everything went fine for Blackmagic. Sold a total of about $400,000 of power, once you count purchasing and selling in together. That's even more than Soren off of his water play last game, with only Superconductor. Superconductor in this case being equivalent to, of course, 4 techs in power.
So Gameslayer is saying the Blackmagic should have killed Scientific first.
That is possible. One thing I like about Blackmagic choosing to kill Soren was the scavenger player, and that meant he had twice as much access to the black market as anybody else. So killing Soren removes effectively half of the black magic that can come at half of the black market that can come at Blackmagic. I just can't words. We all know this by now. You're just gonna have to deal with it. But I like it from that perspective, and especially because he was abusing adrenaline boosts so much. Like, he was relying on that for his gameplay, and black market can seriously disrupt that. We even saw with his last little push to kill off both Ultrapope and Veivi. With that power play, he was so vulnerable to an EMP. But neither of those players apparently felt they could fit it into their game, so it just never materialized.
Let's see. I wonder, did Blackmagic use a lot of black magic
Oh, yeah. I mean,
on the power?
I don't think he got aggressive a whole lot. There was 1 EMP out of him, and then 3 mutinies. Most of those landed on the Offworld, if not all of them.
Oops.
And then just 3 spies.
Yes.
So Blackmagic was not particularly aggressive. He was just, you could see 1 spy, which knew exactly that what was going on with the Offworld market, like planted directly on that Offworld market when it went up. And then just a couple more making sure that Ultrapope wasn't getting tricksy over in his corner, basically. But overall, very, very defensive black market from Blackmagic. So guys, if you want to look at, like, when adrenaline boosts are available, you can do that.
Oh, and if you look at the Offworld sends, like, you can see that Blackmagic got 2 cents of Veivi's Offworld.
Blackmagic actually making more money off of it than Veivi, and not having to pay a whole lot to get that done just in those mutinies. That is huge.
Yeah, that just shows how depth is really, really hurting.
Yeah. Because Veivi, I do wonder if he was in, like, if he's in D debt that whole time, then he can't even afford to defend himself. There's just no option there. So definitely problematic for Veivi. All right.
And you have to look at the interest charges again.
Yeah, those are going to be playing a huge role. Ultrapope, I mean, interest charges effectively killed Ultrapope outright. Nobody else had to do anything that game. He just died because power and interest, that was it. Effectively, having to auto-purchase, effectively gaining himself $450,000 of debt through auto-purchasing and interest charges. Not pretty.
Alright, I think that's everything that needs to be said.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on.